people think I'm successful and confident, and that the books that I've written do well, and that I come across as a really well-rounded, driven, confident person. Now, I'm a world champion. I have 2 world titles. I have 13 European titles. I have 18 British titles in power lifting big heavy weights. And from 13 I started weight training, and at 16 I started competing. Now, my confidence wasn't great at that time, and also with the training and competing, I was starting to put on a little bit of muscle, and I started to get quite conscious about how I looked. But also the diet that we had, because we were on a strict training diet, meant that my body fat levels were reduced. And I found that when we had to go what we call off-season, i.e. go back to a normal diet so that we could let the body kind of recover and let the metabolism come back up and recover from the really heavy hammering of the diet and the training, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. And I started to notice that also my perception of how other people saw me and how I saw myself was starting to change. I started to like less and less what I was seeing in the mirror, started to worry more and more about what other people were seeing of me, and then was starting to lie about what I was eating. Started to make myself unavailable when other people were eating, not be around in the kitchen, make excuses. And I started to lose weight. Now, the funny thing is that you really don't realize that it's happening to you until you're actually in it. You know, but you don't want to know, and it feels like the entire universe is against you. It feels like people are pushing and pushing and telling you to eat and making an issue out of it, and the bigger the issue they make out of it, the worse it gets. And the more and more the self-loathing and that feeling that you get every time you eat just takes over you. If you happen to be having any of these issues at the moment, the first thing that you need to do is to decide where your boundaries are, okay? What is it that you need right now in order to change things? The first thing that you have to do is to be able to talk to a parent, a close friend, talk to somebody, tell them how you're feeling. Don't expect it to make sense, because it won't. But as you talk, you can listen to what you're saying and hear the words that are coming out of your mouth. Now, if you're lucky, you might have somebody that will be able to guide you and help you and maybe get you external help if you need it or if you want it. But just having that person there for support and being able to hear what you're saying sometimes makes a huge difference. If you find as well that you're avoiding meals and you're starting to lie about what you're eating and starting to feel really defensive all the time, then you actually need to start putting a boundary in place so that you can eat when you want to. If you're starting to feel as though everything is becoming an issue, that people are watching you eat all the time, then you in fact need to say to those people, maybe your parents, maybe your friends, okay, I want to come into the kitchen and I want to make something to eat, but could I ask you a big favour, and could I just ask you not to come in while I'm eating, okay? So facilitate the issues that you've got right now so that you can in fact eat when and if you want to, because the most important thing is being able to keep the nutrients going into your body. And I'll tell you something else. Okay, now I've written a book about this, and it's called Rebel Diet. I've written, and in it, the less you eat, the slower your metabolism will get. And I've been here. The slower your metabolism will get, and the more body fat you will put on, because the body goes into survival mode, into starvation mode. And so it hangs on to any body fat that you've got. So it'll actually start eating muscle tissue before it will actually take on the body fat. So you will start to put on body fat even though you're eating virtually nothing. And the key to being able to reduce or maintain body fat levels is actually to eat very small amounts and often. Now, a lot of my clients, the anorexic clients, the clients that have got really serious issues with their eating, first thing that we do is we have tiny little meals, and designed so that it is quite simply all that they can manage. Don't push yourself, don't overload yourself, do what you can right now. But the key is to just keep your metabolism ticking over, try and keep it raised, because if you don't, if you really reduce the amount that you are taking in, you will put on body fat. So you in fact need to eat to reduce it. There's a number of things that you can do, but here we go. Number one, for God's sake, go and talk to somebody. Talk to somebody. As I say, you may well find that they don't understand. It does matter, yes, it does matter when you finally tell somebody. It does make a difference if they do really understand. If they don't, then go and talk to somebody else. But the most important thing is listen to what you're saying, hear what you're saying, because you might be quite shocked at some of the things that you say. Number two, enforce your boundaries. So if you feel that there is an issue about eating, you are trying to hide what you're eating, then ask that people maybe leave the kitchen, ask that you eat on your own. Tell them what's happening. Manage it before it starts to manage you. And the third one is, if it gets really bad, you've got to get some help. You must get some help in whatever form it takes or comes. So you keep asking until you get the help. Because somebody out there will be able to help you. And you can make a difference. And you can get through this, and you can get better. And your body image can improve, and you can walk out of that door feeling like the most fabulous, beautiful creature that ever evolved. And feeling so full of confidence. Because it can be like that, and it is for me. It is for me now. I am the Amazon. It is for me now. Now, if I can come back from there, so can you. So just do it.